Or is he not?
Okay, ready?
Yeah, yeah.
No, you're not. Welcome back to Gooner Fanzine TV. We're here in Frankfurt in the old town. We're just going to go through some old classic Arsenal games with two legends who've been watching Arsenal for a very, very, very long time.
No legends around here.
Not a legend.
No.
We sent a tweet out from our Twitter account the other day asking...
Gooner Fanzine TV.
Gooner Fanzine.
Gooner Fanzine, yeah.
What is your favourite European memory, Arsenal away in Europe? So we're just going to go through some responses and get these guys' reactions. So the first one from Goonerholic, he said Copenhagen '94, a week in heaven.
Yeah, absolutely. Firstly, hello to Dave Goonerholic. He's an absolute legend, lovely bloke. Yeah, we've got so much respect for him on so many levels. So yeah, hi Dave. What can I say about Copenhagen '94? I wrote a book on it. So Miracle of Copenhagen. Buy the book, read the book. I'm not going to say anything about that. You're in Copenhagen. You tell your story, Glenn.
No, I wasn't.
You're not? Oh, for God's sake!
No.
Right, that started off right. Copenhagen was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Loads
How brilliant was your book?
Oh, it was awful. Yeah, I wouldn't buy it. It makes a good doorstop, but I wouldn't. No, I'm joking. Read it if you can. Buy it. It's Waterstones, whatever. Go back to the point. Copenhagen '94 was absolutely fantastic. Loads of friends there, loads of good company, loads of beer. Arsenal won a European trophy. What more do you need? It was absolutely fantastic. Let's move on to Copenhagen '94. I spent months writing about that book. Do another game. Copenhagen '94 was the most magnificent trip.
Yeah.
So it's been done a million times.
Yeah.
Next.
And then Paula Holt said Sampdoria away.
Yeah, I did that game. That was amazing. That was
What year was that?
That was '95. That would have been April '95. We beat them 3-2 at Highbury. Steve Bold scored 2 goals. We won 3-2 in a really, really tight game at Highbury. Go over to Italy. All the Italian papers, everyone had written us off. Arsenal got no chance. That was at the height of obviously George Graham left in the February of '95. Stuart Houston was caretaker manager. We had a good defence, but that was it basically. The team was obviously, transitioning from the dark days of Graham's reign at the end, God bless him, to Bruce Reup taking over in the summer, and that wasn't a particularly good season at all. But at the same time, that Cup Winners' Cup run, and I did most of the games, that was absolutely fantastic. We went over there, everyone's written us off. It was a really interesting day, actually, say interesting. There was a lot of Arsenal fans that got detained by the local cabaneria, whatever they're called, for doing nothing really, just having a drink. I remember being basically corralled into a bar, I think it was, but they wouldn't serve us after having a few beers, and it was a bit moody. But Arsenal fans haven't done anything really. We were just having a laugh and stuff. And I think did you get marched to the ground or something? There was loads of hassle, loads of waiting around. So you're in the ground, and then I think they give us like food vouchers or something as a way of an apology or something. But we basically wasted 4 or 5 hours being detained by the police for no reason whatsoever. Went to the game, and for me, I've probably done more than 100 games in Europe. I mean, some of my friends have probably done double that, but that was the best atmosphere I've ever been to in a game, and I've been to a lot of big grounds and all the rest of it. We won 3-2 on extra time. We were 3-1 down, and everyone's gone, oh, we've lost now. It was like, no, we just still need a goal. We needed a goal at 2-1 down, but 3-1 down, we were still in it. All we needed to do was score. We scored to equalise, went to extra time, still stayed 3-2 in extra time, went to penalties, and obviously David Seaman saved 3 penalties that night, and we were in the upper tier, and it was just the best celebration ever.
Adam smashed one down.
Adam smashed one down through the middle. You're absolutely right.
You were there for that one, were you, Glenn?
No, that was Sampdoria. So it was he missed that. He was saying, but I was there, and it was just a brilliant night. And we partied long into the night in Genoa. Genoa was a bit of a sort of rough and ready place, but it was a fantastic night. Very, very happy memories about that.
Yeah.
We obviously got through to the final, and not so many happy memories because it was Paris and we lost to Zaragoza in the final. But that semi-final was one of my favourite ever games, having watched Arsenal abroad.
All right, Glenn, 1980 Juventus 1-0 Arsenal away.
Funny enough, our friend over there, who's a bit camera shy.
Who was there?
Yeah, he's disappeared now.
Very memorable evening.
That's in the last
there. But no, I wasn't at that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, can I just tell?
A little bit too young to travel at the time.
Yeah, that's your story. Yeah, our friend who's a bit camera shy, but he's a lovely bloke. He was at that game, and some of the stories he was saying about it, like the Italians were throwing rocks, clumps of rubble from the old Stadio Comunale. He's been to 3 Juventus Arsenal games. I went with him in 2006 to the Champions League quarter-final. That was 0-0. Not particularly a special game, but we had a good laugh. And he went in, obviously 1980. What was the other game, Mark? Was that the Torino game? Yeah. So 3 times to Turin, and it was 3 different stadiums basically. Stadio Comunale, Stadio delle Alpi, and then stayed at two different grounds. Stayed at LPL, but for Juventus as well. And I've been there twice as well. And obviously that ground's not there anymore. We're hoping to go to Juventus at some stage this season to interview a former Arsenal player, but that's a different story.
Which one?
Well, yeah, take your pick over there at the moment. But our friend who went to that game just said it was amazing, basically, and no one expected it. And then the bloke who scored it, Paul Vasson, is a really sad, tragic story. It's not something we're going to go into now, but he was a lovely bloke, basically. Yeah, that's good timing. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's perfect timing. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're on camera now, mate.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Okay,
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Next.
And the next one, a bit more recent one. At Squirrel Gooner has replied, Bernabeu Henri 2006.
I was at that game, but you was at that game as well, weren't you?
Ben?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
you tell this one.
Football-wise, that's probably one of my favourites.
Really?
Yeah, I think we went over there with, although we had a very good side, little expectation against the Galacticos at the time.
Yeah.
And I think
Who would have been in that team then?
They had
Raul was still there. Wasn't
yeah,
he?
they had the left back, the Brazilian left back.
Beckham was there. Wasn't
Zidane was there.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, Casillas a goal. It was all the Galacticos basically. Yeah,
think
yeah.
Beckham played.
Roberto Carlos left back. Beckham played. Yeah, that second game, the 0-0 at Highbury, that was the best 0-0 I've ever seen. From some of the best
Fantastic night, yeah.
best games.
But the away trip, I mean, virtually everyone that we know through Arsenal all made that trip.
Yeah.
And it was a great day, great evening. You know, Madrid's a great city, but just watching Henri, there was Arsenal fans dotted all over, apart from the contingent actually in the away end. There were Arsenal fans all over the place, and I was sat in the Madrid end, and just watching Henri bearing down towards that goal. It was sort of like, he's not, is he? He's not, is he? And he got closer and closer. When he put that in, the place was unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, pure footballing spectacle. That is probably definitely one of the tops.
Yeah.
What about off the pitch for that one? Any memories
Off
of
the
that?
pitch, yeah, I was just basically afterwards, everyone just going mad and celebrating.
Yeah.
Just long into the night.
Yeah, from what I remember that, yeah, we were like Glenn said, it was a big mob of us, about 20 or 30, all friends, all, you know, we see each other a lot and stuff. We all caught up, and it was absolutely fantastic. I had a ticket in the Real Madrid end. If you're watching it on TV, it was the left-hand side, in the bit above the ultras. Just it's sort of given that if you're a Real Madrid member or socio, whatever they call it, for those sort of games, you can buy more than one ticket. You just flog it to whoever wants it, basically. So, Geezer made 100 quid off me, but it was the most amazing game. And I was sat there, and obviously everyone around there was all season ticket holders and members, and they knew I wasn't Real Madrid. I sat down, kept my mouth closed. I've been drinking all day, but I wasn't being leery or anything. Sat down, and everyone's looking at me. I'm like, oh no, I'm going to get in trouble here. And this geezer just thrust a plastic cup of Rioja, like that, knowing I was an Arsenal fan. And I was like, oh, cheers, mate, thank you. We were drinking Rioja. He literally had like a picnic bag under his seat. We were drinking Rioja all game, giving me like Parma ham at half time and stuff. So when Henri scored, like it was at the opposite end.
Too much detail.
Well, you know, yeah. I loved it. I'm not sure I can remember too much about it, but yeah, I remember I can still envision the goal. I can still see the goal in my head, and it was one of the most amazing goals in Arsenal's history. And I was going to jump up, but out of respect, I tried to stop myself, and it looked like I was having a fit or something. So I was like sort of shaking and stuff, and they all knew how much it meant to me, and they also appreciated me not sort of jumping up and rubbing their heads and all the rest of it, and rolling around in the aisles. So they're all patting me back, shaking my hands, and just giving me more alcohol basically. And yeah, it was a very, very, very fun evening. And we obviously met up afterwards and enjoyed Madrid for a long few hours after. I think it was daylight by the time we got home. But yeah, that was a good trip for lots of reasons.
Story to that. I came by 9 tickets.
Could have given me one.
I had a friend. Well, yeah, there's a guy over there who didn't believe I was getting these tickets, but I did get them. I had a friend who worked out there in a language school, and his wife was involved in the club and knew the obstetrician,
Right.
who worked with Raul.
Right. Okay.
I mean, Galacticos were so well looked after, and I believe Raul's wife was pregnant at the time. Anyway, a person knew a person knew a person. I came by these tickets, so hence I ended up in a Madrid end.
Fair play.
Did sell a few face value to a few Arsenal fans.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Good on you.
Unfortunately, there were some people I knew that didn't know I had these tickets. Who were,
Yeah.
paying for
Yeah.
their
I'm
nose to
gutted
get
about it 13 years on now. Yeah.
So yeah, that was it.
Yeah. From the same year, an interesting choice here from Sir George Graham. Man.
I'm not sure it's the real one, but yeah.
Champions League final 2006. He said, "I was there for the biggest game in Arsenal's history."
Was it the biggest game in Arsenal we lost?
Do you
I don't know,
agree?
but
Do
if
you
we won
agree?
it would have been. But
Could have been.
We were there. We had a row of about 10 of us, been drinking for 2 days.
A lot of people say it was a turning point
Turning point in what?
in Arsenal's history.
Well, we should have probably won it 2 years before that.
Yeah, in
Losing
2000. That was a season,
Chelsea
wasn't it? It was, yeah, I was at that game as well. But yeah, like we all were. No, I mean, it was a good trip. You know, I remember getting in there early. I never get in there early, and it was like some weird sort of theatrics going on. There was people flying around, and you know, UEFA was spending a lot of money on these sort of pre-match entertainment. It was just nonsense. I'm like, what am I doing here?
I'm afraid
I want to be in a pub basically, but
that final was tainted by the fact it was a very, very corporate affair. There were very few tickets on the.
Yeah, we had
on the
17,000, I think, for that final.
And all you could see in the ground.
In the Parc not the Parc de France, the Stade de France, which holds 81,000, I think. So.
All you could see in the ground was suits on one side, suits on the other. Really had Arsenal end and a Barcelona end. That was way undersubscribed in terms of the amount of fans that should have been there. I mean, I can't remember how many travelled to Paris, but there was hundreds of thousands of Arsenal fans who just all made the trip, just watching it in bars and stuff.
Yeah. We had a drink in the Eiffel Tower, under the Eiffel Tower beforehand, which is what we did in '94 for the semi-final against PSG, and for the final in '95. But I don't know. That was. I think you could bait that game to the end of the sort of Invincibles era. Admittedly, obviously, it was 2 years after, but yeah, that team got broken up after that, basically. And I think if you'd asked Arsene Wenger now whether that was a thing to do, hopefully he'd say no, because there was still a lot of mileage in that team.
Or whether he should have taken Pires off.
Well, yeah, that as well, yeah, because obviously Lehmann got sent off of the Eto'o challenge early on, which shaped the whole game. But yeah, we were 17 minutes away from eternal glory. Didn't happen. Gutted. I don't look at that game and that trip. I look at the trips vaguely fondly because it was always a good laugh, but no, I don't enjoy it.
Maybe a crossroads rather than a turning point?
It was a crossroads in as much as Wenger wanted to reshape that side and changed it.
Yeah.
And did he have to do that? I don't know. That was when he brought all the youth in, and to me, I don't look back on that trip with too many fond memories, to be honest.
No. How about Auxerre?
Auxerre in '95, yeah, that was part of the Cup Winners' Cup run. So my mate Mozzie, who's a mechanic, he had a Capri, and he was on his last legs. Me, Mozzie, and another mate, Guy, all the lads know as well, Graham Glenn as well. We drove to Auxerre, which is central France basically, and yeah, we had a really, really good laugh for 2 or 3 days. Auxerre was just a little town in the middle of nowhere, and they basically baked cakes, welcomed Arsenal. I didn't have a ticket. I made to get off. I got it off for like a 7-year-old kid. I think the local primary school's got tickets, and he just flogged it for 20 quid. And he was laughing. I don't know what he bought with it, but he was certainly happy. And Ian Wright scored an absolutely cracking goal. We were in the way end, obviously, and yeah, we just managed to get in the way end somehow through that ticket. There wasn't much steward and stuff there, so yeah, good trip, really good trip, really enjoyable trip.
Yes, I was. Yes.
What was your experience of that?
I was pretty drunk. I don't know. I don't remember a lot.
It's probably you selling me that ticket, isn't it?
The thing is about European trips, you know, it's an entire package, which is why they're so popular.
Yeah.
You know, it's the culture experience, the food, obviously the drink, and there's so many European trips that are quite hazy memories. You know, I'm struggling to find some of the scores at the time. It's not always about great results or memorable results. I mean, I think the key game was '98 against Lons when we were first time in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Didn't play particularly well. I think Overmars scored. It was 1-1, but that was just sort of so memorable for trying to get into that ground.
Do you remember that away end? You had to walk through that tunnel. It was almost like a big tube.
Surrounded by some woodland.
Yeah.
I can remember going to Prague, which was just a dead rubber. Absolutely fantastic trip with loads of friends. But the game itself was peeing down. You could see all these puddles sort of like building up on the racetrack that surrounded it. It was an absolute dog of a game.
Yeah.
But one of my most memorable trips.
Yeah.
You know, just for the sheer fun.
And then Real Mallorca on 9/11.
Wasn't there?
Yeah, I didn't go to that game. That was
You not there?
no. I remember looking into maybe going. I don't know if I know anyone who went actually, but obviously, yeah, on such a tragic day. The game actually took place. I think it was a Tuesday, and the game, all the Champions League games on the Wednesday were postponed. But for some reason that game took place. I think we lost 1-0. It was like, see, football means nothing in that context. But no, I didn't go to that.
No idea why it was played.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been, should it really, when you think about it?
Do you think it would be now?
No, they'd have to cancel it, I think. But yeah, no, it was a terrible time, really.
Well, grind to a halt now, wouldn't it? Yeah, see if we've got any more.
Someone was saying PSG in '94.
Oh yeah,
the semi-final.
PSG semi-final.
Did you do that one? I did that.
Did you that one?
You did that, I didn't. No.
Right. No, yeah, it was. Yeah, just that was where 1-0 to the Arsenal came from.
Oh really?
Yeah, half time. They were singing. They're playing the Pet Shop Boys over the tannoy, and Arsenal were 1-0 up for Ian Wright. And every time it got to a certain point of the chorus, it was like 1-0 to the Arsenal, and it just went on from there. And then we got picked up a hybrid the next week, and it just went on from there. And obviously history was made. It was 1-0 over there, great atmosphere. I mean, someone said it was the best atmosphere they've ever been to. Like, fair play, good luck to you. It was a good atmosphere, but there's been other atmospheres I would say were far better than that. But the Parc des Princes is a gladiatorial arena, and I covered the game in the press box at 2-2, 2-3 years ago, and the atmosphere was stunning up there. So yeah, did I just say pretty? I'm dropping, yeah, sorry, yeah, no. Let's go back to me being a fan again. Yeah, it's a good atmosphere. So yeah, I like that stadium. I like the fact it's a concrete bowl. The facilities aren't the greatest, but then you don't really expect decent facilities going away. But yeah, I do like that ground. And '94 against PSG was brilliant. And obviously we won 1-0 in the second leg to get through to Copenhagen '94 basically. So yeah, happy memories of that definitely. Although it was a bit moody before the game, but
really?
That's a different story. I'm not going to go into it now.
And then Wayne Norwood has said PAOK in September '97.
'97, so that was PAOK Thessalonica, yeah. They beat us 1-0 over there in the Toomba. I didn't go, but I went to the 1-1 at Highbury. It's the first round of the UEFA Cup, as I used to call it.
It meant something.
When it meant something, yeah. And they beat us 2-1 on aggregate, and that was the season we did the double. So you could argue being knocked out that early potentially helped us in terms of winning silverware that year. But I remember, when they sort of go, oh, Man City did do the Poznan. Well, Salonika fans were doing that at Highbury in 1997 when they went when they scored.
Stole that,
yeah. When they scored, all of them, and including the away fans in the West Stand lower, they would just go and jump. That was the first time I've ever seen it. I was like, fair play to them. But yeah, it wasn't a very memorable tie for me. But then I didn't go to Salonika, and we lost 1-0. But I can imagine the atmosphere was absolutely amazing. One of our friends who's a bit camera shy, sitting with us over there behind the camera, he's been at Olympiacos 4 times.
Whose name you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And Liberty's been played.
yeah. I'm sure people are chasing him, but that's a different story. Yeah, he just said Greece. I mean, I've been to Greece for England-Greece in a World Cup qualifier in Athens before they did the Olympic Stadium, and that was something else. Yeah. There's a lot of stories I can tell about that. I'm not going to mention it now, but I've never been to Greece with Arsenal. So yeah, our friend there is 4 times, and he said it's the most amazing atmosphere. So yeah, we get Olympiacos this year. I might go. Basically.
Olympiacos and Dortmund.
Dortmund, yeah.
Suggests are the best 2
Yeah,
atmospheres.
you've done Dortmund, haven't you?
Again, I feel like a bit of an idiot here. I've been to so many European games.
Tell us a couple. Tell us a couple you've been to recently.
Lodged in the memory, I really enjoyed Porto. Again, that was a dead rubber, but that was a brilliant trip.
What was that? Was that the 2-1 when we beat them 5-0 in the second leg? Bentner got a hat-trick.
No, I think
was that one before?
I think it was the last game of the group stage. We might have lost 2 or 3-1.
Yeah, Porto's a great place.
Can't remember. All I remember was they were shouting at us, going, "So effing easy, so effing easy." But that was just a brilliant trip.
Didn't Arsenal fans put washing up liquid or some sort of, like shower gel in that fountain? Because I remember when I went there for the 2-1, they did that, and it was just literally foaming. Yeah, foaming everywhere. That was really funny.
But yeah, Porto, I said Prague, didn't I? I thought the 2-0 at the San Siro was fantastic.
Yeah.
Probably one of my favourite ever Fabregas moments.
Yeah.
When he smashed that in and ran over to the bench. It was just, I was nearly in tears, but that was a great night.
Yeah.
It was a great night.
Yeah. Did you do the 2-0 a couple of years ago as well? When Aaron Ramsey scored? We beat 5-1 on aggregate. That was another. I love the San Siro. Did you do the 5-1? I didn't do the 5-1.
That was also mentioned. Yeah. Our tweet.
I was actually in Australia with a 5-1. I remember I was near Ayers Rock, and I knew it was an Arsenal fan. Someone came up and goes, "Oh, you beat Inter Milan 5-1," and I was just like, "Yeah, right."
1-0 down as well.
Yeah. I'd love to go on that. It was there's one game I'd love to go on to. It'd been that 5-1, but I've been to San Siro 4 times to watch Arsenal, so can't be greedy. But yeah, that 5-1 was something else. So.
Needless to say, our camera shy Alan Wicker of Arsenal over there was that.
The mysterious Alan Wicker.
Yes, Basel in the fog. That was good.
Yeah, we won 4-1. I didn't do that game. Yeah. You did that game, didn't you?
That was really good. Yeah.
What do you remember about that?
It's pre-Christmas. Absolutely freezing. Very expensive, but brilliant fun. 2 guys over there.
Sure, Rob Holding made his Champions League debut that night as well.
He did. Yeah. Am I getting wrong? Did Lucas Perez score?
Yeah, he got a couple, didn't he? Oh, yeah, the hat-trick. Yeah.
Wenger didn't seem to fancy.
He had a hammer of left foot as well, didn't he?
That was really good.
That, yeah.
And also the next day I got to go to the zoo, which everyone keeps.
The zoo? What? A zoo in Basel? Is there a zoo in Basel? What did you watch? What did you go and see?
What did I watch?
What did you watch? Yeah. What animals did you watch?
Funny enough, I saw some animals.
What was your favourite animal?
Snow leopards.
Snow leopard? There was a snow, what was a snow leopard like? What was it called? Do you remember what it was called?
6 of them. They were fantastic.
6? A family of snow leopards? Yeah. What was the most amazing thing you took from seeing a snow leopard family in Basel?
I've only seen them on David Attenborough's documentary. I was quite privileged,
How long were you in the zoo for then? Like to stay out the pub, was
It
it?
was very cold. Yeah. There was also a rhinoceros making less noise than you were last night.
So anyone who might not know me, I snore quite a lot when I'm tired.
He's not slept in a room with you.
Admittedly, I've been 2 hours sleep out for the last 48, and I've driven to Frankfurt. But yeah, I think you had a podcast on to drown me out, and he had Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
So,
I was losing sleep, having nightmares about you driving the wrong way up the road in Belgium. And I saw those headlights coming towards me.
I swerved out the way. We're still alive, aren't we?
I was like Steve Martin in Trains, Planes and Automobiles, to get my fingers out the dashboard. So,
Yeah, we've got to drive back yet, so yeah.
I'm booked to play.
And then
Don't blame him.
as a journalist, obviously, Leif, very experienced Arsenal journalist.
No, I don't know
You
that.
got any from the press box, away days?
I've got
You've
lots,
been to
but I'm not going to
Newcastle,
say a
haven't you?
word. Basically, no. I'm not going to talk about my journalistic times. They're something else. So yeah, we'll keep it as a fan. Anyway.
Okay.
Don't want to get people in trouble. Basically.
You got any that haven't been mentioned so far?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I've been to more than 100. Tell me a game we'll talk about. No,
Got a
yeah, I must admit,
favourite?
I love coming to Germany. Germany's a fantastic place to watch Arsenal, to watch football. I was at the 5-1 when England played Germany in 2001 at Munich. That was one of my favourite of the games, non-Arsenal games and Arsenal games, in terms of the result and just what it meant and everything. I've been to Munich 4 times to watch Arsenal.
Munich's good.
Yeah, Munich's a brilliant place for a beer. I've done Schalke. Done loads of places in Germany actually, and we've done Frankfurt because we were in 2006 for the World Cup. England beat Paraguay 1-0.
Leverkusen.
I've never done Leverkusen. Did you do Leverkusen?
Did we do Leverkusen? No.
No, well.
Who did
no.
we stay? We stayed in Dusseldorf and went. Sorry, I'm speaking off camera to say.
It's alright, we'll wait for you.
Schalke, that is it.
Schalke, yeah, I've done Schalke, yeah.
Schalke's an abominable little
Gelsenkirchen,
town.
it's a bit like Stevenage, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So not much going on there, really. But
That's 60,000 people you just insulted.
yeah. Well, I used to cover their team, so yeah, I'm used to it.
Click subscribe.
Yeah. No, it was a good stadium though, wasn't it? And it was a good atmosphere. I went when they beat us 3-1 in the group stage in 2001, and yeah, it was a brilliant trip. Yeah. Actually, had a night out in Dortmund. I've not done a game in Dortmund. I really want to do that because I want to go to that stadium. But I've had a night out in Dortmund with Spanish Irish, but we were drinking till 6 in the morning. We had a lock-in and stuff. So I love coming to Germany as we all do, because it's just set up. It's how Britain should be if it worked properly, basically. It's just everything's geared up to have a good time. Beer's great, the food's great, the football culture is amazing, the stadiums are great. Just what's not to like about coming to Germany and watching Arsenal?
And you won today, Frankfurt.
Well, I mean, we've done the ground. I suppose we haven't watched Arsenal
yet.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking forward to the atmosphere later. So
Yeah. Nice one. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for sending in all your tweets, giving us content for this one. Really enjoyed listening to these guys talking about Arsenal. It's basically all I did on the way up.
That's why you slept for 6 hours.
Yeah, in and out of sleep. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, it really helps us, and also press the like button if you liked it, and comment below if you've got any more that we didn't mention, Arsenal away games that you've been to. Cheers, thanks for watching.
Right.